We know that the left is trying to upset the president's agenda. I mean, look at the confirmation of Judge Neil Gorsuch to the Supreme Court. Gorsuch needs 60 Senate votes to be confirmed that the Republicans only have 52 seats. Chuck Schumer says he's adamant. He's not going to go for Judge Gorsuch, even though he had a stunning success on those hearings, which continue this week. Do you think you'll be forced to use the nuclear option?
Well, certainly it would be unfortunate, but if they're gonna auger in and their play is to resist and not get anything done for the American people, I think it comes at their own risk. Americans deserve a great judge. They deserve infrastructure. Americans deserve for our economy to move forward. And it is about jobs and economy. And if someone stands in the way of that, I think there's political fallout.
Yeah, well, look, the Department of Interior has this broad range of responsibilities, Secretary. We want to really zero in on what your priorities are. So walk us through the priority list for the Department of Interior and you, Secretary, in the coming 2 years.
Well, one is to restore trust. As you get outside of Washington, D.C., we're not trusted in certain areas, and that's making sure that we do the right thing. And as far as industry goes, make sure our rules aren't arbitrary. If you're going to play a football game, let's not move the goalpost. Secondly is infrastructure. To a degree, our parks are the front face of the storefront of Interior. We're $12.5 billion behind in the infrastructure of the parks, so we're focusing on that. And lastly is looking at the front line, and those are the rangers and the great folks that are out there doing the job every day. We need to push more assets to the front line and look at the bureaucracy in the middle and in Washington, D.C., and push a lot of that bureaucracy back out where they should be. And it's in the field doing the great things that we need to do. Would
you expect the tapping into the energy resources, the infrastructure program, do you expect these projects to happen in 2017? What's the timeline, Secretary?
We're going to move as fast as we can. With the executive orders today are going to task me. The president has already tasked me to look at regulation. I'm signing a series of secretary orders tomorrow, and we don't have a lot of time. So again, if there's people that are going to resist on something that is an imperative to this country, I think it's going to come as a political cost. We're going to go forward with our agenda of jobs, creating wealth, restoring trust. In Interior, we have a lot of work to do, but I'm an optimist. I look at such great potential, and we want to do it right. I find myself to be the steward of our greatest lands, the parks and our wildlife refuges. We all like clean air, clean water. We're going to do it right, but we are going to create jobs. And we're going to create wealth and jobs off our public lands where it's appropriate. Is
the Flint, Michigan crisis, the water crisis, finally coming to an end at this point, Secretary? Any news there?
It's forward. On that, it should never have happened. And there's a lot of finger pointing, but there's a lot of blame on that, how it happened. The bureaucratic system broke down on it. People knew about it, evidently, before. No action was taken on both sides. This is an example of government gone bad. We can do a lot better.
All right, we'll be watching. Secretary, good to have you on the program this morning. Thanks so much.
Great to be with you, Maria.
Secretary Ryan Zinke joining us there.